Let me show you guys the rope real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I look at that like, you can regress all of the throwing we did with lighter balls, lighter equipment, lighter weight. But one of the reasons why I like the rope so much, and it's something that David Weck started a rope flow back in like 2000, but it's something that, number one, allows you to develop rotation, coiling, etc. Because, right, initially for people, they start and it's very a handsy experience, but one of the goals of the rope is learning how to use the body, the spine, the whole body to leverage against this. So you notice how my arms aren't moving anymore, right? And I'm rotating my spine. I'm leveraging, using my body to rotate this rope around. Arms aren't moving. So all these patterns that we are showing, as far as like throwing, single arm throwing pattern, right? With just this light object, I can work that pattern. Now this is my right side where I always throw things, but I can also work that pattern on my left side, learning how to use my body to fluidly put the rotation through the rope. One of the cool things is the underhand pattern is inherently the human walking pattern. So a lot of people, when they walk, they don't use their spine in movement. They walk here. They're super tight in the spine. Everything is leg driven. Maybe there's some arm swing. You notice athletes, good athletes who inherently have it, they have this head over foot, kind of like this rotational swagger that they walk with. And this underhand pattern that you work with the rope, again, initially it's very handsy for most people, but that underhand pattern teaches you how to rotate with the spine, getting that low intensity, repetitive rotation on both sides of the body. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's powerful, because you don't only get to work that right side rotation. As we were saying, all of us have a non-dominant side that's not as good. We're also able to naturally work that left side rotation. Left, right, left, right. Obviously, it can get super fancy and you can do all those things, but inherently, it's one of these practices that really helps people learn how to move better. And I think the second biggest thing about the practice, this is why I like rope flow and the kettlebells and stuff, is one of the reasons that you said the kettlebell is so good for your elbow. It pulls and it decompresses that joint, right? So when you're working with a kettlebell and the inertia of the bell is pulling at you, this inertia is pulling my arm apart. I'm not flexed here. I'm relaxed. I'm letting the weight pull me apart while maintaining a stable spine, stable arm, right? When you're doing these things with the rope, right, you're not flexed. All the tissues are relaxed. When you learn how to use your spine to funnel the energy through this rope, you also get some decompression, elongation of the spine, which is an opposite of the compressive forces that we generally will be putting on our structure with a lot of the things that we're working. So that's why I love putting all these things together. The sandbags, you need to bear load on your structure to increase bone density and all these other things. But we also need things that allow us to pull that structure apart, bring synovial fluid to the joints. It's also been shown to actually be good for cartilage when you're able to get space in between these areas. More fluid, more blood, more restorative things go to your joints.
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, over the years, I've learned a lot from guests that have come onto this podcast, and I've taken the time to learn many different movement practices. So, for example, if you wanted to learn rope flow, which is a practice I think is just beneficial for everyone, I have a free rope flow foundations course at school.com/thestrongerhuman. Now, the Stronger Human community actually has over 11,000 members, so it's a great community there, but you'll also be able to learn rope flow for free, along with many other things I teach in there, like kettlebell flow, kettlebell juggling, all that good stuff. So head over there. Along with that, if you're looking for where to get your equipment as far as ropes, maces and clubs, sandbags, all that good stuff, you can head over to thestrongerhuman.store. And on that site is where I have all of the different functional fitness equipment that I use to become a stronger human. So check those out, and let's get back to the episode.
So that's why this practice for anyone young to old is like, it's good for the body, but it's also fun as hell.
It gets to be very hard to disassociate the parts of your body as you get older, or not necessarily just older, but if you don't utilize those functions in day-to-day life anymore. So your lower body is your lower body, and when your knee moves back, your whole body will want to go with it. It will want to rotate with it. Everything, your body is like a tombstone. It's just a slab. And so everything wants to go with it, which is problematic. And so you try to think of practices where it's like, let me get in some reps where I'm not that stone, you know, I'm able to just move a little bit more than normal and get in some good reps where the reps aren't, this isn't really costing me anything. You know, it's a little energy. It's like going on a walk, but it has different movement than just going on a walk. And it feels safe, it feels comfortable. I've been doing this probably for what, a year or so?
Yeah,
I've
maybe
been
a
doing
little
this
bit
about
more than a year, I think.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Every time I do it, I just feel a little bit better. And I can take it on a walk. You know, I just might put it here and not use it for a minute. Yeah. And then I'm here. And I don't know how to do like a lot of some of the different things that he knows how to do, but I try to add to it here and there just to get a little bit better at certain parts of it. Or even just like walking and staying on one side and then just observing like, why can't I rotate as good to that side as opposed to this side? Things like that.
Then I want to add this thing in. You know how I said I love to go on the sandbag walk every single day? Now, the sandbag walk, as I mentioned, is inherently it's a compressive force. So obviously, I'm not just I'm not staying flaccid and letting this compress me. I am working against that load, so I walk with neutrality. But even so, it's still a load on my structure. So as I adjust and adjust, at a certain point, I'll let this go. And then, the reason why I bring this with me is because this will allow me to bring that decompression back. I can get everything long. Notice how my scapula is elevated, my shoulders are wide, and I'm funneling rotational energy through this rope. And then it brings me back to this state of, okay, let me compress again. So I'm going from compression to decompression to compression to decompression. Whereas generally, when we think of a lot of training, there's a lot of compressive forces, and it's rare that we have something. Athletes sprint. Sprinting, when they're good, they're decompressed. They know how to, right? So you have that through movements, but many people don't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? Coordination, and they don't have the coordination power to be able to do that efficiently. And that's one of the things that this teaches you how to do. Power Project family, if you enjoyed this excerpt, you can check out the prior excerpt right here, but soon the full thing will be out, and I know you guys are gonna enjoy it. So pick one. It's gonna help you out. Bye.